Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of No Taste. My name is Alex.
I'm Connor. Sorry, I'm all closing the window. I'm all up on the microphone all of a sudden. But yes, I'm Connor.
Yes, and I'm Alex. As I said,
As you said, are you intentionally trying to sound more sexy and quiet?
no,
I'm Alex.
I think you mean I always am.
Shut up. Fuck off.
Yeah.
God damn, man. I don't want you. Not stop trying to be sexy. You're weirdo.
Anyway,
We're gonna talk about something, I guess.
yeah. I mean, we're just gonna.
What was it we were gonna talk about? Okay, yeah. We were as of right now, there's a James
Yes.
Bond game coming out soon, in a couple days' time. And
Yes.
007 First Light, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
And we figured, hey, we played a shit ton of James Bond games back when we were kids.
Pretty
we're gonna
much
be playing
since we
this one.
started.
Yeah, it was one of the first things we actually played.
I had GoldenEye on N64, so
Yeah. And I played a bit of that. I was like really young though during that, so I don't recall like
Actually,
a lot of detail.
yeah, I had GoldenEye and World Is Not Enough.
Oh shit.
Yeah, World Is Not Enough was cool because it had a blue cartridge.
Well, like the old like N64 games where like they'd have
Yeah.
cartridges, like cartridge shells. What?
They were like colored.
Cartridges.
It was along the same lines as like VHS. Like you would get everyone.
Yes,
you would get
exactly
like a special
right.
VHS that had like a different color that wasn't
Like,
black.
oh, this VHS is fucking neon yellow.
And there were a couple. This is kind of a tangent, but like, so World Is Not Enough was blue. I remember that.
Yes.
Killer Instinct was black. Killer Instinct Gold, actually. Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo, which I did have, was a black cartridge as well. Killer Instinct Gold, I think, was a black cartridge. I know that Donkey Kong 64 was a yellow cartridge.
Sweet. I know with VHS, wasn't it like a like Monsters Inc. was like a blue cartridge, was a blue VHS?
There's a blue VHS.
I remember there being a yellow VHS.
There was, I think, yeah. I know that the Rugrats Go Wild, which was the crossover with Wild Thornberries, that was an orange cartridge.
It was, yeah. I watched that more than you'd think. I watched that quite regularly, for some reason.
Yeah, and but yeah. So we're just gonna kind of talk about
All the James Bond stuff in general, because we played, as you said, like we played a lot of the James Bond games, like N64, and then into like up until like the final ones they started releasing, really, in like the
I think
early 2010s.
yeah, like Bloodstone. I think was the last one that
There's that. There was the weird like James Bond on the Wii, like the GoldenEye remake thing.
It was like it had like
Daniel Craig as James Bond.
yeah. I genuinely, I was thinking Pierce Brosnan, but in my brain I was gonna be like, oh yeah, that had like Dennis Rodman in it.
Dennis Rodman from James Bond.
But yeah, where like Daniel Craig's James Bond went through all of like the James Bond movies, essentially.
Because there's the James Bond, there's like the GoldenEye one with him, and then there's like 007 Legends.
Yes.
Which is the one that had like a couple different levels where it was like
they're all
Daniel Craig and Moonraker.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? Just
yeah.
At that point, just make a different, separate Bond that's not him.
But yeah. Which is interesting because there's actually a couple games where you have a non-licensed James Bond. Like,
yes.
You have the Pierce Brosnan ones, which are really, those are most of them. You had the From Russia with Love, which had the Sean Connery likeness. I almost said Roger Moore. There's never been a Roger Moore. James Bond, like...
And there will be no Roger Moore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's because they there's like certain iconic like
Yeah.
Bond visual identities. Like there's like the Sean Connery one is very distinct, and Pierce Brosnan has that to some degree. There's no George Lazenby.
And there should be. It would have been awesome if, like, the First Light, like, we're gonna base this off George Lazenby. Just,
It'd be very funny.
it would be funny, and it would probably not sell at all.
It would fucking bomb.
And this James Bond First Light is one of those James Bond games where it's like an original.
Yes, it's
not like a likeness.
just a straight up video game only character.
Yeah, which is, and that's kind of what I was going to get at. Like, I mean, we haven't played First Light yet at the time of this recording. It comes out in a couple days, so we don't really know. But so far, as of right now, what is your favorite James Bond game so far?
Shit!
Is it one of the like? Is it one of the like?
That's a great
actor
question.
ones, or is it one of those few like? We made a James Bond for this game, kind of.
I think it has to be one of the likeness ones, because like more of the games were likeness based than they weren't.
Yeah, there's only a couple. Agent Under Fire.
And
Nightfire.
honestly, like a lot of the better ones were those.
Or was
like,
did Nightfire have Pierce Brosnan?
Yes, Nightfire.
Okay, so Agent Under Fire is one of the few. Agent Under Fire and GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
Yes,
the two I can think
but
of.
I would say that if I had to give almost like a tier list, I think that, I mean, Everything or Nothing has to be the top.
Yes, that's
like Everything or Nothing is just so goddamn good, and it's weirdly enough, it's a licensed, like it's Pierce Brosnan,
yeah,
but it's its own separate story.
Yeah, it's clearly, and it's much. I mean, First
It's
Light,
basically like a movie. It's
yeah,
like,
First Light looks also similar to that, but like you're right, like Everything or Nothing really feels like sort of the. I mean, it's considered to be like the unofficial entry into the Pierce Brosnan sort of series of James Bond.
yes, yeah.
By like, it's not official, but it's like the fans are like, yes, this is.
I mean, it basically serves as
It really
another another Pierce Brosnan entry, because it has the characters and it has like its own original song. And honestly, the song for Everything or Nothing is so good. That song is insanely good.
Yeah, they're, and that's kind of what we're seeing with
fucking
First
heat.
Light as well. Is like Everything or Nothing really like it followed the whole aesthetic of the James Bond movies, right? Where like I believe it's like you played a little bit of the game before like it starts, much like the movies where like there's like that opening scene before like the credits actually start and like you get like the song and all that. Like,
Yes,
and I think it had that. If I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but
because there's like a prologue scene where you're fighting in like some weird courtyard and there's like fucking shit's blowing up and going
yes,
crazy.
because it's like you had to like they're like doing this trade for like a nuclear weapon or whatever.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, because it does that, and then it goes into the song, and it's by Maya, I think is what it is.
Yes.
Because she's also in the game as like the blonde girl.
Yes.
And that song is insanely good. It upsets me slightly that it's not like a fully like released thing. It's like I think it exists in like audio forms on YouTube, but it's like there's no like official release of it. I don't think. That makes me sad because it's like that song is way too goddamn good to just be relegated.
Yeah, they really tried to make it
Relegated to like existing in that moment only.
Yeah.
This is just too good. The song's
And it's
incredibly fire.
It was one of the at the time, it was one of the few like third person, because before that point, the only one I can remember was the Tomorrow Never Dies, like that was on PS1. That wasn't on N64. Because remember the commercials and was it Die Another Day or something like that, or was it Everything or Nothing? I mean, not Everything. Sorry, was it Rules Not Enough? Like there was a James Bond movie where like they had the advertisement for the PS1, which is Tomorrow Never Dies. It had to have been Rules Not Enough. It had to be after that. Obviously,
Probably.
it would have to be after but which is interesting because you had GoldenEye on 365. Yep, I can't fucking speak. You had
I can tell.
GoldenEye on N64, which became this iconic thing, and it's interesting to see people talk about
Yes.
how like licensed games were bad, but then they'll put GoldenEye. People they put GoldenEye on the list of like their best first FPSs ever,
Yeah.
without, and then but like not really realizing that it is completely one of those licensed games.
Well, I think it's because like it's like the fact that like 90% of everything is garbage.
There was a lot of crap, yes.
And that's very obvious too, right? That there were a lot of licensed games that were just
Yeah,
the worst.
and it could
Just
be
the most bare minimum, like you could convince me they weren't even paid to make this. Lack of give a shit.
And it could be the fact that like this was like in the 90s and then 64 and it was made by Rare. And Rare at the time was like huge. Like they made GoldenEye and then they made Donkey Kong 64 and
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. So
Conker.
this was like Conker. So these are like this is like the top person for N64 or Nintendo really at the time. You know, nowadays things are different, of course, but
I mean, I think their best game is probably still Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, but
yeah, you know, yeah.
everyone's favorite Banjo-Kazooie game.
Which again, fuck it, this is no taste. We're gonna go on tangents, whatever. But like, speaking of that, like, I played the demo for it, and I wonder.
I've heard the game is really not that great.
Okay, it's not. I was gonna say, like, is this a case of like the game? If the game was original characters, would it be better, or is it because this is like the third Banjo-Kazooie game, and that's why people hated it more?
I mean, probably a little bit of both. Like maybe it would have been given a little bit more grace if it wasn't a Banjo-Kazooie game, but I'm not sure if the game stands up as being that good on its own.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's just kind of an odd, like this is a Banjo-Kazooie game, which is basically like a building a car game for some reason.
It was a very odd thing. It's just weird because then like years later, Banjo-Kazooie gets brought into Smash Bros. And it's like,
But really, weirdly, that almost makes more sense.
yeah,
Strange enough. When I was talking about building a car, I immediately thought of a completely different game that I don't think I've even thought about in years.
I have a feeling I might know what you mean.
I talking about building. I thought of Mod Nation Racers.
Oh, okay. That's not what I thought. But yeah, that is a very PS3
PlayStation 3 game.
like middle. It was like mid PS3, like right at the height. I think it wasn't towards the end. I think it was like
It was a really. I don't even like recall that much about the game. Like it was that forgettable.
yeah, it was like a kart game, but it wasn't. It wasn't like a licensed kart game. It wasn't like Mario Kart or like Crash Bandicoot or
I also don't.
any of that stuff. It was like these.
I'm not even sure if it had like hazards or like things you would do in combat. Like I don't recall it having like item boxes where you would like fight guys or you'd like in Mario Kart there's like the shells and bananas and like bombs and shit like that. I don't even recall if it had those in it, but it's just like this weird relic in my mind that I refer to, and I'm like, whoa! This is in the recesses of my fucking brain.
Yeah.
And I can't place why I thought of it. I think it's just about building a car because I think you could like change your car around in that game, and you could like.
I think the idea of it being like a Mod Nation Racers was like you could change shit about the car or something like that.
I think it had like a map editor thing.
Yeah.
So it was one of those.
You could like make tracks and like put them online, and people could like.
I think it might have been one of those games that, except there's certain games that are like this, where like the game doesn't really have all that much content on its own. Like it's a
Oh,
pretty bare bones game.
Yeah, it's like it's meant for like the players to make the game essentially.
Yeah, like a lot of the maps and a lot of the like
Yeah,
things
like,
that comprise the game are really reliant on like user created content.
yeah,
it's like Robloxy a little bit, because I think Roblox is kind of like that, where it's like,
yeah, they essentially just give you the pieces, and then
it's like here's the sandbox for which like everything else is kind of like,
yeah,
you can make your fucking borderline sexually menacing levels in Roblox or whatever. I feel like whenever I hear of Roblox, it's like
the only time
it goes like one of two ways. It's like
I've heard of Roblox.
It's either complete brain rot, or it's like, oh, this is like a danger to children.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only time I've ever heard of Roblox recently. Is when it's like either people being brain rotted, like you said, or it's like someone bringing up the fact that there's like a problem with like adults being inappropriate with someone that, you know.
I mean, that's just a problem in real life, right?
I mean, yeah.
Of adults being inappropriate with minors.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even have to make a joke.
No, that's just
you
real,
open Reddit or open any social media and you'll see fucking...
You just open your eyes.
I guess if you want to... You could... I mean, that... Not really wrong. I mean, that is technically correct. If you just look around at the world around you, you will see it.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, it turns out everyone's a monster. That's the realization you come to at a certain point. When you see these things, when you read these things, when you're fucking... You just notice things. Hopefully not people you know, because that's, you know, if you notice, if you know someone around you is doing something weird, you probably should, like, you know, pull that out of the fucking ground first. But it's like this overwhelming sense of like it's almost so much that you can't articulate effectively how bothersome it is. You know what I mean? Where it's like it seems so over that there's like no reaction that's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's like even your most disgusted, most vitriolic reaction still feels like it undersells the mind-melting insanity. This is about James Bond. Now we're talking about fucking. Yeah. Now we're talking about well, fucking the foundations of civil society exploding.
Yeah. Well, like, maybe James Bond can change that. Maybe it's
maybe Dulles and First Light will really stop.
Yeah.
These human trafficking rings.
Yeah. Yeah. We can hope, but I don't think it will. But
also, James, like this is like. I feel like say this might be like me being kind of disconnected and weird. Is James Bond like one of these franchises that like gets like retrospective looks backs and people are like, this doesn't age well?
I'm sure that there's a lot, especially the older ones, like the Roger Moore, Sean Connery ones. I mean, there is a thing, like I've heard about Roger Moore not wanting to. Oh, you're yawning. I thought you were trying to laugh at something.
No, I'm getting that weird wash over your body where you're setting and you get in a good setting position.
Oh yeah.
And then your body's like, well, you're going to bed.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, I'm not.
But I remember seeing something, and again,
I think Roger Moore had a thing where there was like the actress who was going to play the love interest was like fucking half his age, and he's like, this is weird. Yeah, he's like a 55-year-old man or something. Yeah,
like that. She was like the same age 23. As like, she's like kids or something, or like close to that. Like he could have been like her dad, and so he's like, I don't. Yeah, so like, even I guess
people watching like about the idea of that.
So even back then, like he was aware that like this was just gonna look weird on screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure people...
I mean, beyond. I mean, in terms of like the retrospective, like doesn't age well. Like even beyond like the like acting age gap stuff that way. I mean, like just like the subject matter and like the whole. Cause I imagine
you mean like villains and stuff being like weird.
I was saying like that, but like I imagine there's also probably like the thing of like there's probably a bit of like a chauvinist component to James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Of like a guy who's like, he can't do anything wrong, and all the women like fawn over him. He's kind of like an awful guy sometimes, but they're like, oh, he's terrible, but I can't help but be horny about him.
It's one of those.
It's like you could probably discern and be like, it's a bit of like, you know, male power fantasy, probably a tiny bit.
Oh yeah,
or not a tiny bit, but definitely.
Yeah.
But whether or not it's, I feel like there probably are other properties that are more outwardly malicious about that power fantasy than James Bond is.
Yeah.
Especially because often the James Bond movies, especially those earlier ones, are so like ramshackle and like barely held together.
Yeah.
But you're like, it's hard. It's easy to laugh at it because you're like, at times this looks like shit.
Yeah. And they're
where it takes on a borderline comedic tone because it's just so like. Yeah, but these effects are not very good.
Yeah, when they're in the car, but like you can tell that there's like a screen wrapped around the car, and like it's like moving in directions that the car isn't. And it's like,
yeah,
or like,
and then your eyes are drawn to that, and you're like, oh man, like I know that's kind of cringy, but at the same time, like that is superseded by the fact that this is so obviously like a car on like a rolling stage.
Yeah,
that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's driving the car and his hands are turning like he's turning the car and the car is stationary, driving straight, and his hands like this, going all around. You're not driving a car.
And at least, I mean, there is, and there is some, like, and it is kind of, like, stupid, but also in, like, and maybe this is just me, maybe, I don't know how to word this without saying younger people, but, like, it's like the stupid like sex pun names, which are just still kind of funny. It's like in Goldeneye, like Xena Onatop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Pussy Galore.
Pussy Galore, yeah. It's like, you know, it's
Fuck Fuckerson.
Yeah. And of course, then you also have, you know, you have the Austin Powers stuff, which is like a parody of that. So like I'm thinking of that stuff as well in my head, you know. So it's like. But, yeah, I think, but like Daniel Craig, I think his version of James Bond kind of started to go against it. And of course, it was like a more modern day thing, so maybe they were starting to get.
I think that, I mean, his whole Bond depiction is a little bit different. Anyway,
I only watched the first like one or two. No, I watched Skyfall, and that was it. That was the last time I watched it.
I watched Casino Royale. Which honestly, I don't even recall like watching it fully. I remember. I think I watched it fully, but I could be wrong. I know I watched Quantum of Solace, and nothing after that. I've heard about them. I've contemplated.
Yes.
I've thought about watching.
Yeah.
More of them, but I just. It's
I think
it's never been. I played the Quantum of Solace game on computer.
Yeah, we have the PC version.
Yeah, that back when it had games for Windows.
Yeah, so I think that's the first three that we watched: Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and I watched Skyfall because we went.
You watched Skyfall separately from me.
Yeah, because I can't remember what the movies were, but there was Skyfall and another movie playing, and you wanted to see one. And so I went and saw Skyfall. You went to see the other one. I can't remember what it was, but
looking back, it probably was a movie that I probably would have rather watched Skyfall than that. Knowing me back then,
I honestly can't. Yeah,
I might have been like, "Wow, I wish I would have just watched Skyfall instead."
But that was his last one. I remember.
And I've heard that the other ones are good too, but I've just never. I just haven't gotten around. Then again, I don't really watch movies nearly as much as I used to. When I was younger,
me neither.
When I was younger, I used to watch movies a lot.
Now I can say, like, you watched Die Another Day. That's the one you fucking watched.
Oh, I love Die Another Day.
Die Another Day was like, you like that one, and you also Tomorrow Never Dies.
I think Tomorrow Never Dies is great.
Like you watch it. Yours was like Die Another Day, especially like that was. And Tomorrow Never Dies. You do kind of. You said you did like that one because that one did have like the Bond girl character did kind of go against the cliche of.
Well, I like that because, well, first off, Michelle Yeoh, the actress in that, is really, really, really fucking good, right? She's an incredible like physical actress. Like her stunt work and her martial arts stuff is really, really exceptional, right? And I've seen her much of things. She was in Crushing Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I think. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, bunch of different things. She was I think it was Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's like the main.
That's
actress.
the main. Okay, that's the main.
But I like that movie a lot, right? I like all the stuff in it. It's weirdly like kind of has an almost topical thing where it's like news media being manipulated by groups to facilitate warfare. So it has a slightly weird kind of like.
Kind of a slightly. I mean, it's always happened, but slightly less relevant, more relevant now than it was when it came out. Kind of feeling.
Yes, it's kind of like Perfect Blue. In that way, where it's like this feels almost like it hits more nowadays than it did then, or maybe it's just because the way that media works nowadays allows for that like.
Yeah, it's not that
it allows for that manipulation in a much more. Quantifiable and specific sense.
It's not that it didn't happen. It's just nowadays it's just more obvious.
Yeah. And it's harder to like ignore when you see it happen.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I mean you also liked World Is Not Enough as well, and World Is Not Enough game was interesting as well because it was one of the first N64 games I think that had voiceover in it, alongside Turok: Shadow of Oblivion, which had lip syncing.
It's funny that is the one thing you talk whenever you've talked about Turok. Shadow of Oblivion. That is one of the things you always mention. Is the lip syncing.
Yeah. Because it was at the time like there were probably.
It's just I found it just such a specific thing to.
Because it was an interesting thing because the other games didn't even have like World's Not Enough for N64. Like you had voiceover, but no one like their face didn't really move.
And that's true.
Or like it had like kind of like some of them had like lip flap, kind of like anime stuff, but like the cutscenes in Shadow of Oblivion, like they were able to like emote and like they had like
Fortnite?
Lip syncing. Yeah, they were able to do like Fortnite dances and stuff.
Talk about a game that I like legitimately never got into at all.
Fortnite?
Yeah, I never.
Yeah. I had a
me.
very brief stint. And
What-
by brief, I mean like maybe
3
a
games.
week. Yeah. 3 games
A person
across
that
a week.
a friend of ours, or a friend of yours that I kind of know by proxy,
At the time, yeah, they
was
really
playing
liked-
Fortnite
played
and
quite a lot.
got us into playing it a little bit.
Yeah, I think for me, it was because, well, I not like I don't like playing online shooters and stuff like that, like Battlefield and all that. I love Battlefield and all that, but I think it was just the
One Life.
I almost we're talking about James Bond. I almost said the Casino Royale game, Battle Royale, style
No,
of game where it's
I know what you mean,
You have
but
like one life, and then once you die.
You got one life, one chance. Would you risk it all?
But then, like, once you die, I was like, okay, I've got to, like, back out of this and start a new game.
I think because I guess, but in a way, I kind of understand why they make games like that because it probably psychologically plays on like I'll get them next time, one more game kind of mentality, right? It hinges on like if you lose, pissing you off, and then you go in for another game to like make up for that loss.
Yeah.
And then if you keep losing, then you keep playing games that you win, and then and then you've been playing for 6 hours.
Yeah, just so you can get that one win.
And then you're like, oh man, that's crazy. And you turn the game off, and they've Epic Games has like harvested all the data and now knows like the exact curvature of your fucking cock.
Yeah. And the last time with that stint was like that was like 10 years ago now. So that was before. That was really before they started like becoming like a billboard essentially for every brand that wants to get eyes on them.
I wasn't really that long ago.
10 years, yeah, it was probably.
See, I swore that was like, I mean, some years ago, but not that. I want to say that was maybe like 5 years ago.
Oh, no, it was. We had it was on a PS4.
Really?
Yep.
That is why I swear to God that was just before the PS5 came out that we started playing at that time.
We were
maybe
still,
it was. I'm just drawing a blank on it then. I guess. Or maybe I played it earlier than that, or I played it a bit earlier one time, and I just didn't. Yeah. I didn't care for it.
I just remember it. Yeah, it was probably close to 10 years ago now. But
that is wild. That's true. That's crazy.
On top of that, aside from the battle royale kind of thing that I'm not a fan of, I mean, I see people like it, and that's cool, and I can see the appeal of it. Like if it wasn't just like one life, and then you have to start a new game or enter a new game. But at that time, also 10 years ago, they didn't have the like no build option, which also to me, I just want to shoot people.
I don't want to get like my ass fucked by like a bunch of these like ADHD like hands drilling across the controller, building a 300-foot tall tower in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like this, like,
and you watch this kid do that, and you get beaten by them, and you're like fuck me,
this,
right?
Like, yeah, this, you're playing the game. I'm just doing it for fun, whatever. And then
Mr. MLG, Mr. 14-year-old MLG player.
Yeah, some like 6th grader decides a bullet goes past him, doesn't even hit him, and suddenly in a second, this motherfucker has built the Eiffel Tower. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like,
and then he proceeds to jump out of it, do a 360 spin, perfectly snipe you, then parachute into a building that, as he lands, he's fully built another one next to it. And you're like, why don't I just die then? Like,
yeah,
why am I like? It's like that fucking bit from Metal Gear Solid. Like, well, why are we born to suffer?
Yeah,
like that's me. That's me in that moment of like,
and it's like
just fuck me. Right, and then I can't do anything.
They finally brought out the no build option, but that was. But now I just don't.
Our opinion is already. Yeah. We've already soured on the concept of it.
But even taking out it's still a battle royale, and there's still like. And at this point, it's like incentivized for you to like buy stuff. I don't know if it's pay to win. I don't think it necessarily is, but like.
But I imagine it's one of those things where like. I don't know if you can buy advantage. I don't think you can.
But it's
one of those things where it's probably if you're playing it and you don't have it, you're probably so reminded at all times that you haven't paid for it.
Yeah.
That then you feel like in order to fit in, it's like high school.
Yeah, it's
like that way you're like, everyone else is doing this.
Yeah.
So why should I not spend fucking $300?
Yeah,
I can look like butthead when I get fucking shit on by like a fucking 9th grader.
That's what, yeah. It's like you have like the default skin and the default like pickaxe, and everyone around, and then suddenly you're just walking through, and there's like Goku doing a fucking Kamehameha to fucking Rick from Rick and Morty, while he's shooting at fucking Naruto. And then suddenly, fucking King Kong shows up and starts emoting on you, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
and you turn the game off, you set in your computer tray, you spin 3 times, and then you shoot yourself. You go, I don't need to live anymore. I'm over this.
So it's just...
You think you have a psychotic break.
Yeah.
You have a sciatica break. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm old, so I get up and I pinch my sciatica and... pinch my sciatic nerve, and then I fall to the floor.
I pinch off a sciatica.
Pinch off a sciatic
like a turd.
Yeah.
We do that way too often.
It's when you take a shit so big, like honestly, like you get, like your legs go numb.
The problem I have a problem with my legs going numb when I'm using the bathroom like that. Mm-hmm. But I think it's because I'm fat. and I have my elbows on my legs, and I think I put enough force down on my legs that it cuts off circulation. And so I'm in there, and I'm like, I can't stand up. If I stand up, I'm gonna fall over, and I'm gonna have a big shitty poop butt. I'm gonna be on the ground in the bathroom
Yeah.
like a fucking gremlin.
Unfortunately, I think we might have to stop it there because I think the battery's going dead on the. So I think that might be the last bit of.
You got a shitty poop butt on the floor. Isn't that a fucking ending? Okay, so I guess that's it, guys. You're gonna end it on my shitty poop butt. Concerning phrase. Don't say that, Connor. Don't say end it on my shitty poop butt.
All right. So
I'm so sorry.